Thank you for calling 1-800-SAD-DESIGN. Welcome back to episode 22. This episode, Ayden is out of town, and I am joined by two of our good friends from school, Isabel and Emily. And yeah, we're doing an audio-only episode this time, mainly because my computer's dying on me, and I have a flickering light in the house. So, wonderful. But yeah. First off, how are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah.
Nice Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking it off with a little chat.
I can't believe it's been 22 episodes. That's like crazy.
Well, we do episodes. Well, we try to do like every other week, and then if there's like a holiday or we're like both out of town, we'll take like 4 or 5 weeks off. So
Yeah.
It seems pretty
according
regular
to
though.
schedule, it's like supposed to be like 26 episodes every year, but we miss like 3 over like Thanksgiving and the Christmas area, and then we're taking like a month and a half break until like September because we're traveling.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, I know when we hit episode 10, we're like, damn, and then 20 was like, oh damn, and then yeah.
I'm
And
just
here we
like, surprised. I feel like after a few episodes, it'd be really hard for me to come up with something
Well,
to talk about.
I'm not so much the one who comes up with topics to talk about. I'm more like, Ayden, you want to figure something out? And she normally finds stuff, so I'm like, thank God. But I'm always like, we're going to run out of something eventually. There's not a whole lot happening right now, especially like graphic design wise. So yeah, that's what we're trying to like, when we come back from our trips, we're going to try and plan, because we're supposed to do like season 2 when we come back. So trying to change it up a bit, because there are things we want to do either more of.
Mm-hmm.
So try.
Yeah. It's just new season, new topics, new approach. I love it.
Yeah. Try to just be more like, I don't know, efficient, I guess.
Yeah.
Do more, essentially.
Well, it's
'Cause
hard
we
because
kinda-
you guys both have
Yeah.
jobs. Like, this is like a
Yeah.
whole other job.
Yeah.
Running a podcast.
We're both like, we just save it to like last minute,
Yeah.
which is like for like our fun of the weeks. We've been getting better the past like month, I'd say. But we used to do it like 20 minutes right before we record.
Really?
We just make it. That's like most of these right here, honestly.
We're learning
I
all
love
the
it.
insider secrets.
I mean,
Should you be saying this right?
I say it every time because I don't care. I think Ayden might, honestly. I don't know.
No.
I can't
it's
recall.
Good. It's authentic.
I
it's
can't
real.
recall if she's like actually said it. I think she has maybe, but I'm like, probably threw this together in 10 minutes and call it good.
I love it though because it's like you and then Ayden, which to me is like
It's
two
total.
completely opposites of the spectrum in terms of personality, but you guys
Yeah.
are
I remember when we were first talking, I was like having thoughts to myself. I was like, it's kind of a weird like duo. But I was like, I'm just going to let it roll and
It
see how it
works.
goes. And honestly, it works.
I love
I'm fine
it.
with that.
I feel like I like it too because I feel like I've listened to podcasts where they're really, really similar.
Yeah.
And so they only talk about one specific like side of the industry, and you kind of get tired of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have some like
You need like total opposites to, cover all whatever.
yes.
But yeah, because like even like when I'm playing games with my brother, we like play a game where we just talk about and catch up. And we talk about, and it's even when some of our friends are with us, we talk about some of the most random stuff. And we're always like, let's just call this our podcast game. Because we probably talk for like 45 minutes
I feel like every
of the most
friend
random stuff. But it's like, it's not stuff you can post online, I'll say. Like, and we're both like,
canceled.
Wait.
Episode
not
20.
like that. It's just like, it's like personal opinions on things. And it's also like, both of our energies are high. We're yelling, screaming, stuff like that. So,
Right. Maybe for the streamer space.
yeah. But I think it's just more fun. We just laugh.
you're not best
Mostly
friends
laughing.
until you say, "Oh my gosh, we should start a podcast."
Yeah.
We'd be
Well,
so good on a podcast.
He's so good on like
We always just joke. And we both know we're never doing it. But it's like,
But what if?
So,
I know.
It's
And
not
you made
happening.
it happen.
You really
I
did.
mean,
Well, yeah.
You
with
could
this
literally
one.
have a podcast with your brother. Like,
Well,
you
yeah.
literally
Well, the
could.
brother I'm talking about, he's going to be living here for a bit. He's like, can I be on the podcast? I'm like, if you want, dude, you can.
Oh my
You can
gosh.
just hop on in. And I was like,
That would be an interesting episode. Graphic designer versus non-graphic designer Q&A. Like,
well, yeah.
common like
He's
misconceptions
a physical
or
therapy guy.
oh,
So
interesting.
he's in physical therapy school right now.
Okay.
So he has no idea. Like he asks
Do
me
some,
for
like,
help, and I like.
human-centered something.
Physical therapy mixed with innovation and design.
Yeah.
There's got to be something there.
Anatomical drawing poster
Oh,
thing.
Well, I've done some
muscular
stuff for
system.
him, but yeah.
That's cool. What have you done for him?
He asked for like 2 stickers and a flyer.
For
And
his
then-
business?
No, for like his school club.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then I made a logo for him a long time ago. That was like video game related stuff. So
Well, we never introduced ourselves. Maybe we should like.
yeah. Well, I was thinking about that when you first.
Nobody
was
knows
like,
who we are.
Well, because you guys work together, but no one knows that. So,
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
so I was
Should
gonna
we-
try to circle back
Should
to
we
like.
do
let's
the
do, like,
intro and then
personal-
put it to the beginning?
I'm not doing that.
What?
What do you mean? What?
You can't like we just like say like oh, I'm Emily. It's just so people have some context when they're listening, like who we are, and also our voices. Ty.
Fine. I'll cut it here. Cut here. I need to like. Okay. I'll cut there. Okay. I don't know where I'll cut it. Maybe I won't. But let's go through some introductions then. So, Emily, quick. It doesn't. I don't know.
Okay. I'm Emily. I am originally from Maryland. I came to Boise in 2020 for graphic design school at Boise State University, where I met Ty and Isabel. I was super interested in illustrative, doodly, paper, tattoo style art, which brought me to trying to make a career out of graphic design.
Is that how you landed on graphic design?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I landed on graphic design. It was like a little side hustle. I sold stickers on Redbubble like all throughout high school, and then I just was like, I guess this is what I'm gonna do. I did like my yearbook for high school. I've always loved and like dream job would be working for a magazine. I would love to work in layouts and InDesign and like print. Currently, I am the social media manager and one of the graphic designers at In Time Tech, where I've been working for about a year now with Isabel. Yeah, so starting out in my professional career, learning, growing, making massive mistakes, crying, crying at work. Yeah, all the things. Happy to be here today.
Oh my gosh. I'm Isabel. I also cry at work sometimes. I also did the graphic design program at Boise State. I started in the more like fine art side, doing like painting, still life, in that space. I thought that I wanted to do that forever. But I also had like a big interest in like sciences and psychology. And so I kind of combined those together to find graphic design. I think like some of my, I don't know what I'm saying, at work. I also work at In Time Tech with Emily. I'm a marketing graphic designer. So I do some stuff with like our products, branding, starting to dip my toes into freelance a little bit, as you'll hear more of. But yeah, it's a cool space to learn and explore in. I think that like we entered this field at a really interesting time, and so it's been great to like have other people who know the struggles and the perks of being in this field right now.
Nice.
Yeah. How do you guys approach projects that friends ask you to do design work for? Because to me, that's like the hardest line to find.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like,
What do you
obviously
mean?
if it's like your
Like
brother.
payment wise, or just like how you work?
I think a combination. I think that, like, I feel like a lot of the client work that, like, we've done is, like, really, really professional. But
Hell
then
yeah.
the other side of it where it's, like, someone you know, or, you know, it'll be like you go to an event and you meet a person and they're like, oh, like, I'm starting this business. Do you want to do the branding for it? And so it's, like, I think especially, like, with our age group, we know that most people don't have, like, the funds to put behind, like,
Right.
a full branding project.
Yes.
But then at the same time, you're like, I don't want to be the reason that
You don't go.
you can't do this.
Yeah. I just take what they offer. Like, I don't really fight back. Because it's like, I can kind of, mostly I'll kind of like give a little read off of them. It's like, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
And so, mainly if it's her friends or family, I'm like, I'll do it for free. Like,
I would.
I could probably whip it up so quickly and you can give me like a few pointers and I'll change it. And then that's it. For friends.
Yeah.
Because it's like most of the time it's like, oh, I want a new profile picture icon. Stuff like that. Or like a sticker. And I'm like, I can do that.
Right. But it's like it's like then the quality of the work is like.
I try to keep it the same.
Okay.
Just because it's like, it's practice for me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not in like a professional design job like you guys. So I
mean,
don't
you
really.
are though.
No.
You kind of are though. Yeah.
No. I make trophies. Like.
You don't just make trophies.
No,
it's
but it's
3D
like
design.
No, it's the type of like look most people who order their trophies want, and it's like it takes like I don't even use my brain, you know? Like it's not it doesn't feel creative. You know, there's some things
documents.
There's
Make PowerPoint.
There's like that in everything now. Like
yeah, but it's like
gonna-
I don't know. I do my thing is like I kind of forget about the things I've actually done.
Yeah.
So if I were to like take pictures and document everything, I'd be like, oh, maybe I do. But at least to me, working every day, I'm like, I don't think I designed anything. But it's like technically I did.
That's fair. I think I definitely have had that as well. I think that like it's so easy when people are like, oh, what are you working on? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, we did like so much stuff, but yeah, you don't really realize until you look back through your files and you're like,
oh wait, that was like a design.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you get like a lot of practice putting a lot of thought into those like smaller things earlier on in your career. And then at this point, we're kind of just like, we know how to do it. So it doesn't take as much brain power. For instance, those documents, like you kind of just make them at this point. They just happen because now we know how the type works, where we want people to read. So it's a little bit less like figuring it out. Whereas I think the bigger projects that you take on and like the more variety, that's where the challenge and like the learning and like the feeling like, oh, okay, like I'm designing this. But when you're putting together stuff, sometimes I'm just like, yeah, like it doesn't feel like I'm designing. It just feels like I'm throwing things together. But yeah, for like family and client, like personal client work, it's tough because I fall on the side of I want to be professional, but I don't want to be like too professional where it scares them away and they don't want to like make time for that. But I think like any project, being able to like set aside time to work on it with the client is important, whether it's your brother or your neighbor, even if it's just like one or two. I just think it makes
Totally
all the difference. You have to.
Well, and I feel like I feel like most of the time it's usually like a branding project,
Right.
or you know, something like
Always.
that. And I think it's tricky because in that process you have to really understand like all of the ins and outs of like what is their company, why are they doing this, what sets them apart, all of those things. And I think that like sometimes there's this feeling that we do those things so that the client thinks that we're really like paying attention.
Yeah.
When in reality, like that's like the basis for the project.
Yeah.
And so something that like I've run into both like at work and in personal things where someone's like, oh, can you help me like throw together a website or something like that? And they're just like, oh, something really quick. And you start it and you get into it. And then you realize that like you're on step 10.
Yeah.
And like step 1 through 9 never happened.
Never happened.
But then it's tricky too because if you're doing like free work or something like that, you also like don't want to put
that much
30 hours
Yeah.
into this project.
Absolutely.
And so I think even if it's like the quality of the actual like design is high, like I think sometimes you sacrifice that like that work that's specific to their audience. Like it's almost like you're creating something pretty and then you have their business and you're not like intentionally bridging that
together.
gap. But it's tricky too because you're also like I can't put 30 hours into a project that's a side project.
Yeah.
It's like a side project on the side hustle on the side of the job, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's where we come in and taking those projects too. Like if we know that it's not going to be a worthwhile amount of time spent where you're not going to deliver something, like I don't want to make something that's going to stress me out, and B, not look that great because nobody has time to provide context. So yeah, I honestly like being picky is totally fine with me.
Well, I think that's
For
even
personal
how
stuff.
like agencies do it.
Yeah.
You know, when they like come in and they're like, "This is our budget and we need this," blah blah blah, and they're like, and like timeline, they're like, "Well," and then they like kind of figure out like pay wise, like employees and material costs, like this doesn't really, help us out that much, and they're kind of like, "Well, no." I feel like that's kind of how it goes.
This kind of goes into what I wanted to like talk to you guys about today. So I'm just going to get right into it.
Jump in.
Okay.
So you two are my best designer friends, and I need help figuring out how to work with someone that just reached out to work with me.
Okay.
So yesterday I got an Instagram DM from someone who produces music, and they are looking for a designer to create a visual identity for a music festival. A small music festival. It's not like anything crazy, but it is like poster and kind of like the look and feel.
Yeah.
Maybe some social posts. The thing is...
What do you mean maybe? It's
Well,
a music festival. That's like the
know.
best way to get outreach.
And so that's kind of like where I'm at right now. So I got the call yesterday. I was at work.
Yeah.
That's the guy that when I was on the call, I was on a call with Isabel, and a voicemail came through my phone as I'm talking to Isabel at work.
And it's like,
Hey,
hello,
it's me.
Emily? I was like, who's in your house right now?
So I canceled it, picked up the, called him like right after we talked. And we talked for a little bit. Someone from BSU, her name's Naomi Baltson. Do you guys know her? She's a grade below us, but she was a photography major.
Maybe.
Okay.
But her friend is the person that reached out to me. So we have a call today at 3:30,
Okay.
and this is where I'm going to get all of the information for the project. So yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' insights. What would you ask this person? Where would you start? And one thing that's really, I don't even close to know what to do is what do I charge this person? What do I
don't
do?
know. I think that she would probably know more.
Like where, and then the other thing is the vibe that I got on the phone call was very laid back,
Okay.
but it is a big team. So I'm thinking maybe it might have just been this one guy,
Okay.
but he was very nonchalant, like super hippie.
That's the thing with some guys, though.
Yeah. It kind of is.
Speaking, what?
It kind of is.
Well, yeah, like, I think you would benefit talking to minimum of like 3 or the whole team.
Yeah.
Just so you get a bunch of different perspectives.
So I guess I need to gauge, I guess I want your guys' like insights on how to gauge like really what level of project this is. And in terms of, yeah, what would you approach this call at 3:30 being like?
Professional. First
Yeah.
of all. Level, I would say it's on the higher side, but it also kind of depends on the size of the actual festival.
Yeah.
Because if it's like, they're expecting 30 people, it's kind of like, I'd say that's a little low end.
Yeah.
I'm going to write
Do you
this
need a
down.
pen?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No.
Okay,
I see one.
You're like, I'm just gonna search through stuff.
No, that's
this
fine.
is good.
I'm really
I think
curious
this is-
to hear what you guys have to say, and I need your
First of
help.
all, I think this is kind of the whole point of like what Ayden and I envisioned for the podcast.
Yeah.
is
Yes, you are
to
calling
help
into the
out.
hotline.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I am.
I think
Yes.
Ayden will be
1-800.
quite excited.
Yes.
Because she's kind of always wanted that. And I was like,
It just like came out of nowhere. I've never done anything like this. I'm terrified.
No.
Because some-
nah, you
Sometimes-
should be more excited.
I'm excited. Yay, I'm really excited. I'm scared. And I don't have a style that is very illustrative. And from what I've seen, they tend to be more illustrative. So I'm
It's like the elements, though.
Also,
They have like illustrative elements.
if
True.
somebody hires you to like take on this and manage this, obviously I feel like it would be a conversation with them, but there's nothing saying you can't contract someone to do the illustrations.
True.
That's not off the table.
It is also that they contact you because they like your style.
I think
So
that
they're expecting,
Yeah.
they might be expecting something in your style and not something like you trying to match the whole vibe of it.
Right.
Because that's something I once got, and they're like, we want it to be like something you did and not like you're forcing yourself.
yeah.
So that might be something you want to kind of like, not so much ask up front, but kind of have them answer it themselves to you today.
Okay.
Just
Like
be
why what?
Just be like, obviously the conversation will come to like the overall look, and that's when they will explain to you kind of like their vision. And I feel like they're going to say something similar to like the way, because they've probably seen your work if they reached out. So it's
He said he
similar to
scrolled
the
through my
style.
Instagram. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much like the best portfolio I have right now. So
I think that's how
I think
everyone is,
that's yeah.
Well, and if they have illustrative style right now and they're reaching out to someone else, they also might not want to keep with that style.
True.
You
Yeah,
know, it's
it's
like
like-
that's what they have been doing.
Yeah.
It could be like, since a lot of other, I mean, I don't know much about it, but based on the things I've seen, you kind of see like those like hand-drawn elements in some of these festival posts, and maybe they wanted to be a little bit different.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
different is good.
But yeah, I would ask them, like, just get as many details as you can. I think, like, I don't think that you need to worry about the questions right now that are, like,
Design
The-
focused.
yeah, design
Yeah.
focused, totally. Just get as many of, like, the logistics, like, how many people are in your team. I think also setting the expectation that's, like, I will create things for you and get you all the files, but I'm not responsible for getting things, like, into production.
Okay.
So it's like, if you,
Like printing.
yeah, like, you can find people to recommend.
Okay.
That's
That's a really good point.
Setting that. Yeah, I think also, like, what the timeline is.
Yeah.
What they've done in the past, what has worked, what hasn't worked.
Even the budget. Ask for the budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
ask
what's
for
their
Is
budget?
that like? Is that?
Every
No, why do
and
I
almost-
not want to talk about money,
and-
even though I really want to get paid for this? And I'm
I think
hoping.
that's a lot of people. Like, I'm definitely like this. Like, things where I'm like, I should be getting paid, but even then when they ask, like, no, I don't really. I don't need to get paid.
I
But
think, yeah, I was just going to say, I think also that, like, if this was something that you did, this wasn't the first time you doing this,
Right.
I would say charging, like, $120 an hour, totally fair.
Yeah.
I think something to think about because it's a learning opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And it's not about, like, your abilities or the quality of your design or anything like that. It's literally just that it's, like, a project you haven't done before.
Yes.
I think that's where you can think more about, like, what that hourly would look like.
Right.
But I would look at that. I would look at that before. This is kind of how we approach this, like, marketing. I'm making, like, a marketing materials package for a client right now. And so we approached it of, like, what is your need? Who are you trying to talk to? Because that also lets us recommend things to them.
Okay.
And you can talk about the expectations of the project without saying a number. Like, you want to get that somewhere in the conversation, but like I wouldn't open it up to be like, how much do you want to spend?
Okay.
You know, because I think also if people are like, oh wait, we should do paid social posts, but that means we need to do like, or like Google ads, that means we need to do like all these different sizes to get this like click-through rate every day, all of those things.
Right.
Then they understand, okay, I'm going to need to spend $1,000 more on this. Whereas if going into it, you're like, can I have another $1,000? You know?
Yeah.
So I would really get that idea. I would make sure that you know who their audience is.
Okay.
Because then if this does seem like a good fit, that will let you come up with things to recommend to them. And then that will also like improve their perception of your legitimacy.
True.
To them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of get a vibe. I think, like, and also, like, don't promise things you can't do.
Okay.
If they're like, we want a website, like, if you get
I would just
Wix
say
or
no to that.
Squarespace or HubSpot, like, I can help design it. I can support someone else who's designing it. I can give feedback, but, like...
Yeah, no website. I'm not into that.
There's just also so much with web design.
Well, and I'm coming from it as a point of I want to be a visual director in this. I don't want to be marketing. Like, I don't want to be responsible for who comes. Like,
well, I don't think that's...
Then I would ask what their marketing team consists of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it, too, because I'm like, if this is their marketing and I'm, like... the only person in that space, then I need to be clear on like that's not what you're hiring me to do. Like
you're like, I can look at the analytics, but I can't tell you what they mean.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not running a social media page. Like I think I do like the idea of like offering some graphics to post. I think that's like something that I might even like start in the beginning of the conversation. Like, hey, after we pull the identity together, if it's going great and we still have time left in this year, like I would love to help out with creating content for social media. But yeah.
Totally. And you can create things that are going to be posted 10 months later.
That's true.
You know, you don't need to be there. You don't need to post it.
Yeah.
I think you can create the visuals and send it over to them. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so like the vibe so yesterday when I was on the phone call, I was like, obviously my brain was racing. I was just trying to get as much information out of this like 10-minute phone call with this guy. And so I asked him a couple questions. I was like, just kind of asking about like what band is kind of going to be like the main stager, like who is going to be there, like what. And then I asked him if he could choose between like Coachella or like Outside Lands, which are two very different music festivals, like where he'd be. And he was like Bonnaroo. So I feel like that.
Okay.
Having an idea of this person that I'm talking to's idea of what they were kind of trying to replicate already helped me set a point for where they're going to try and exist. But the stuff that they have, the stuff that this person currently has on their Instagram is different than Bonnaroo. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be like...
Is it like a new festival?
Let me look it up really. Do you guys, is it okay if I look it up?
Yeah.
Well, I want to see it too.
Okay, so it's called a host of music, art, and wellness festival on the Salt Flats of Utah called Salty Toes. And he's currently planning the next one set for Labor Day weekend, 2026. Would you be interested in doing the official graphic design for the posters / promo?
What's the Insta name?
So they don't... So it's the guy who contacted me is called Will Sangster Music. Will Sangster Music. And it looks like he's just like a regular guy.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
You see?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you totally got this. Like I think that it's like scary sometimes to like start doing client work and like do especially freelance, because I feel like doing client work under a company, you have like people backing you.
Yeah, freelance feels like it kind of alone and you're like,
Trying to figure
does
out.
this look right? And it's like you want to ask for help, but it's like, should I?
Right. But
It's kind of like that.
yeah, but I also feel like with all of that too, it's like you have, I mean, with all of those like events and things like that, Boise Design Week,
True.
you have hundreds of people who live here,
Yeah.
who have done this,
Yes.
who know how to handle these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get yourself into a spot. I'm kind of telling this to you because also like I have the same thing.
Yeah.
Of it's like you're not going to get into a spot where it's like they don't like the design
Yeah.
and the world's falling apart and like, you know, it will get figured out. And it also doesn't mean that you have to give them free work because you know.
I've never done it. And
Right.
now that
You've
thought,
never done that. You've
Yeah.
done design for
That's-
what? 6 years now?
I'm trying to
5
not
years?
tell myself, because originally the thought popped in my head, do I do this for free? Because it would be a great portfolio piece. But at the end of the day, I don't want to start doing that to myself, like under,
Yes. Also, yeah.
yeah,
I think something at this scale you want to do it for free.
yeah.
You might consider like, quote unquote, lowballing it, but
But also,
you should. It's like pretty big size, I'd say.
I think that the other piece too, though, of doing like free work for people, like not friends and family, is that when you offer something at a low price or for free, you're lowering the price expectation of the whole industry.
True.
Because then when someone else is like, this is my livelihood, this is how I pay my rent,
Yeah.
this is how much I'm worth, and they're like, someone else charged me $5 an hour, I'm not going to pay you
Yeah.
That's true.
$150.
That's very, very, very true.
You know? And
Yeah.
it's like, we know how much experience we have, but at the same time, it's like, if you're getting paid a certain amount at a job where you're doing this, where you are working on a team, you're not even doing it all by yourself,
Yeah.
and you're making that amount, like, you should charge how much you're worth. And it's not, like, I like to think of it instead of being like, oh, I'm, like, doing an injustice to this person by charging them. It's like, if I don't charge them, I'm doing an injustice to all of the other designers who are trying to prove
That they can do this.
that this is valuable.
Yeah.
Right. And it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because it's also the thing, too, of, like, I think clients, it's just human nature, but it's like clients don't value your time as much if you don't tell them they need to.
Right.
You know?
Would you approach this flat rate or would you do hourly?
I think you need to find out what they need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking too, like, is it smart? Okay, and this is kind of getting into the nitty gritty of, do I need to write a contract? Like, how do you guarantee that this person is gonna back me up? And obviously, like, if I was gonna do flat rate, I would say like half and half, first half and then after.
Yeah. I would do hours, like, to
You
not
think?
exceed. I would quote them,
Okay.
like, break down the whole thing into, like, each section, and then show them all of those. This is kind of the process that we just did.
Okay.
Um,
Look at like.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, break it down into each, so it's like, this is, like, paid meta ads, organic meta posting.
Okay.
I don't know what else. LinkedIn banner, social. I guess there's
Like any sort of asset that they would possibly use your work on.
Okay.
Yeah, merch stuff.
It's
Okay.
like you don't want them to like take something you made and just zoom in on it.
Okay.
So kind of like every single possibility.
Okay.
Totally.
Like even
I
like
mean-
an email
So much.
header.
Yeah, definitely. And then like break down the hours for each of that. Tell them your hourly rate. Give them that quote of like, it's going to be this many hours, this cost per hour.
Right.
We won't exceed this. If we get close to that, we can have another conversation.
Okay.
We also have someone that does all the legal stuff at our
Okay.
company.
Yeah.
And she's super nice. And I would literally just ask her, be like, I'm doing this. What do you think?
Okay.
If you don't know, can you point me in the direction of something?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think like another thing that I'm running into while I'm kind of running over this in my head is like, how would you guys approach a cadence for regular meetings to ensure that I'm staying within their conversation and kind of knowing when they're switching, because I know how teams work. You know, they can say one thing this month and then in 4 months something else happens and it's a completely different like goal, or something happens or one of the bands pulled out. Like, how would you approach over a year, because I have a year, I guess,
Okay.
to
Well, yeah, I guess a year. I was saying,
A
because
year
like, you
till
gotta
the
have to do
event.
some like publicity stuff.
Yeah.
Posting. What about a year?
how would you do like getting that set up, meeting with them?
First, it's all about communication.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you can kind of like notice, you just need to like make sure you guys are communicating like every single little thing. For me, I think at the start, I'd say like every week, every other week, just because that's like where you're gathering everything and putting everything together. Because if you miss like a single like bit of information that can change the whole thing, that would kind of like set you back a bit.
Right.
So I think that, and then once you start actually building stuff, it's kind of like set up a draft of whatever it is, send that over, get their approval or not, and then like build off of that.
So
That's
like
kind of how I would
digitally just sharing.
Kind of,
Where
yeah.
not.
Like you can also do it in person. I think for me, I would much rather do in person. Like as much as I love technology, I don't like doing anything online. So I would definitely shoot for on person, if anything. But if not, like emails or Zooms. Zooms is probably
Zoom.
secondary. And then emails like third.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think setting up the more you can set up like a whole year like timeline with them, the better.
Yeah, like map it out, I'd say as well. Like
Yeah.
definitely when you talk with them, if it gets to that point, try to set like deadlines, like expectations. Like
And the contract.
this is when we want our first, I don't know why I'm blanking on the word, but drafts. And then kind of set like your little points.
Yeah. And what would you guys, how much time would you set aside for yourself weekly for this? And when would you be comfortable with saying it's complete? Would you do it like 2 months before? Would you give yourself 6 months to just get it done with? Or what would you do? I'm asking, not because I'm going to copy both of you guys.
I think
Combining everything into...
One.
well, first time, like when I would work on it, honestly, for me, it'd probably only be weekends. Like, if there's time in a day to do it after work, well, it's also different for you guys because you guys have different hours.
Yeah.
But like for me, I get home around like 6:30, sometimes even later, and it's like
You know,
I get home, I just want to make dinner.
again.
Yeah, I just want to make dinner, relax, and then go to bed. But it's like, because what time do you guys normally get home from work? But you guys sometimes stay later, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
It
varies.
changes. I would say we usually get
Average.
home by like 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah.
So like you guys have like a little more time. So like I think when it comes to your schedule, maybe like if you really kind of force yourself at least like an hour or two after work. That's if like you have something flowing and you really have to get it done. But like I think for me, I kind of like technically spend like 5 hours working on something on like a Saturday and then see where I'm at on Sunday and continue.
Yeah,
And just keep continuing every weekend.
that's true. Like a bulk on a Saturday, if I need to meet something, like
Yeah.
sprinkle it in throughout the week.
But obviously, like, don't wait till last minute. It's not like a
Right.
school project. You can
Never.
do that.
Right.
Um,
I think something to think about also if they're doing like a festival is the ordering times for things.
Okay.
Because you might also run into, you know, if they're doing like a big like archway welcome thing.
you need to get that thing made in.
Yeah, they need to
or
order it like
whatever.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So thinking about those things, I think that sometimes it can feel like, oh, I'm setting my own timeline for all this stuff. And then when you start breaking down like when they're going to need everything, it kind of almost creates its own timeline.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I would definitely be like, try to get the big things that they asked for, I'd say like 3 months before the event, maybe even more. Because it's like, we don't know what they're asking for, but that gives like them time to find, they should technically already have like printers and makers or whatever to have all the stuff that they need made ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that gives them time to like send over the files, and then those people enough time to make it, ship it if they need to, set it up, stuff like
Totally.
that.
Like 12 emails with whoever the printers are.
Because you don't want
That's
to be
true, get
like,
there.
Can't open the
their
EPS
people.
file.
yeah. And you don't want to
Yeah.
be like they probably don't want to be the person that reaches out 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, and they like need it no matter what. So then the quality gets dropped.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because I've definitely seen that happen before.
Yeah.
So
I think something to keep in mind with it also is like, I think that sometimes when people are like, oh yeah, let's start the design process, there's like so much that goes into it before that. And so just keeping in mind too that it's like you probably want like, I would say like 2 or 3 meetings to talk about like their brand positioning, where they want to go, how they want to be perceived, what messaging they want, what messaging they have, like seeing what they've done in the past, what they liked, what they didn't like, what worked, what didn't, like all of those things that like you're obviously going to need to do your own like market research or like, understanding that space. But you're also going to need to have like face-to-face time with as many people that are involved as possible.
Yeah.
So that it can be the most successful. And that's going to have to happen before you even like start designing. So I would set a solid like 2 month
Discovery.
for discovery. And it depends on their timeline. If they want to meet once a week, that will only take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just more. There's so much more.
I think it's like a big pressure too, because to me, a lot of what goes into a production or event or festival is that's such a cool poster, like, or I love
Yes.
how it feels. So I would like to emphasize that with them, that it might seem tedious to have me like in their ear constantly, but it's makes such a difference in getting people to their event. And I think I need to, this is a great opportunity for me to take time to do all this, because this is really where I struggle the most in graphic design. Is I have always jumped into the fun part, the designing, the mood boards,
The colors.
I love it, the Pinteresting, like, but I'm really excited to get a clear understanding, because I also feel like it will give me such a better advantage and confidence in showing them things if I've really like answered all these questions. There's so much.
Yeah.
I have.
well, it's
There's
also
not enough
like,
time in the world.
you shouldn't ever really feel like you're asking them too many questions, because that's kind of like part of the job, is you need to know like every single bit of information to like actually visualize what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, I feel like I'm asking so much, or like I'm pretty huge on like communication, so I'm always asking all these questions, and I always feel like I'm bothering them, but it's like I need to know the stuff.
Definitely.
Mhm.
I would imagine also that you know people that have done Tree Fort, that have created that. And
So
that's a really good example of like a music festival that reflects how we see ourselves as a city.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure that there's been a lot of exploration around that.
Yeah, why don't you talk with them?
So that would be a really good resource.
Really.
Everyone always says informative meetings are like one of the best things.
Yes.
So would you recommend I reach out to someone who works at Trademark and kind of ask these exact same questions to them?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
And they'll get it. I mean, they're designers. They
Yeah.
they're running into the exact same problems that you are right now.
Yeah.
And I believe
And they also
they've
had,
done
like,
it for
first-
years, right?
At
I
least
would
like
love to get into
based on what I've seen,
to
at
hear
least 3
about.
years.
Yeah.
So probably more than that.
Yeah.
It would be so cool to hear their creative process for developing the Tree4 brand, because it's so unlike anything I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
agree with you that it reflects Boise like to its core, and it must have been such a different journey than like a normal branding project, because it is not only is it like the visual identity, but it's the feel of the music artists, the people that work for them. Like, that's a good idea.
And it's off the page. You're in it.
You're in
literally
it.
is like placemaking.
Yes.
I think that's something that like it's so hard to get experience in that, because you usually don't have the opportunity where people are like, we're creating this giant space for people to be in your designs and in your creations. And how do you like make that leap from like a tiny square on your phone all the way into like a space that you're in and have like continuity?
And people are invested in so much that they're flying to Boise to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, so impactful.
Definitely.
I'm excited.
1 year they'll probably have Post Malone there.
You think? Post Malone at Treefort.
He bought a house here, so
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. That'd be insane.
I don't know why, but he's out here.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward
Yeah.
to
Keep us
updating.
updated.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'm
an exciting project.
already a little bit nervous because I don't have any of this ready, and I think I might have to go home and like write.
You're calling them today?
It's an informative meeting.
It is,
You're not
and
supposed to have anything. Like,
do I come with it to them with a quote today? That's more.
Oh, no.
no.
You don't
Because they
think?
This is like the meeting where they give you their budget, and then you take that in and figure everything out.
It
should be that meeting.
I don't even know if you need a number. I think that today you ask them what their expectations are and what their wants are. Because if they say, like, oh, we just need, like, 10 social posts versus, like, we need a whole visual identity with posters and this and blah, 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 that's a pretty good idea of, like...
the level of commitment I'm going to have to make and ask for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm
if
assuming,
they
though, that they're going to ask for an identity.
a lot, yeah. Well, and it's also, like, if they want all that stuff and you quote them and they say, that's too much, I'm not going to do it, don't do it.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You know, or you get to like kind of feel that out. It's like, do I lower my prices because I want this as a piece? Like, and I think like another thing to think about is like, is this the space that you want to be moving into? Because if it is the space you want to be moving into, you can lean into that a little bit more. Like you can give a little bit more.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it as like, this is a cool project, making some side money,
Yeah.
you know, then like keep your prices.
Okay.
And if they don't want to, then be like, then I'm going to find something that aligns with the direction I want to move in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure that, like, you want to do it.
Yeah.
'Cause if
I'm
you're,
just
like-
grateful for someone like giving me something to do outside of work that's going to crunch my brain a little bit. I think that's like, I will take anything at this point. And I think this is like,
This is a cool anything.
this is a cool anything.
Yeah.
This isn't like, oh, my brother's friend needs me to do their lawn mowing business and I get to design their stuff. Like,
This is like a legit,
this is something
people
that
will see your work type of thing.
yeah, and so I think I'm ready to kind of start flexing this muscle that I've never really flexed before. I mean, even at work, it's rare when I get the opportunity to like speak with a client or really work with anyone that's not internal, and so I think this is going to be good for me to take into my professional career as well, like learning this, making these mistakes, because there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Yeah, I'm really excited. And it came at such an interesting time because I feel like lately I've been really like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't like this. Why? I don't do anything that I like.
I think
And-
that's just the first couple years, though.
Yeah.
That's what I told myself, Alex. It's like, couple years, you know, everyone's always looking at experience. So, you know, you have to build that up.
Totally.
And you have a client as well.
So excited for this project. Okay, so a few years ago, there was a chef that I worked with at a restaurant. He opened up a food truck, so I did the branding for them. I think back to it now, it was like sophomore year.
It's Queens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like ready to ship this to be like huge vinyl on the side of their truck. And I like asked our design professor, like, do you think this looks good? I'm sending it to a client. And he's like, have you ever hit Command Y before?
What's Command Y?
That's to see the outline.
To see the outline?
Okay.
Because if you don't do that, it doesn't cut in the right, because it cuts.
Who'd you ask, Brian?
It was Tom.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
Oh, wait, yeah, because it's your sophomore.
It was my sophomore year. Yeah. And so he kind of like saved my butt.
Really?
That would be so, yeah, because I'm like, what if I send them this giant file? They cut it out of vinyl, and there's like 8,000 lines.
Especially because they're
yeah,
expecting.
it's like the plotter.
But it's also like, they would have caught it, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Who knows?
I don't know
I'm
who.
sure
If
they
we
would.
can't even
Yeah.
with stuff like that.
But yeah, so it was a really good learning experience.
We're also sophomore year now.
Oh yeah,
We didn't learn
I
a
had
single
been
thing.
Nothing.
professionally designing.
That's probably the
I
first
hadn't
thing
been
you learned.
professionally designing. Yeah, literally.
That's like the most, well, not most.
What
One
was
of the
it?
most useful things.
What was it like working with like a client at that age with the experience that you had then versus the experience now?
Hilarious.
Was it?
Well, we basically like met for coffee, and he's like, I kind of want something like this, and I was like, sounds
I got
good.
you.
Drew some stuff, sent it over, and he was like, looks good, and I was like, perfect, let's ship it.
Dream
I'm
client.
pretty sure I don't even remember what I charged him, but like I think I should have paid him to make that project. But so anyway, they opened up another food truck that was like barbecue, and it was like they opened it at a time. I think it's like they just hired like the person that did the design work for Payette, because it's like at the brewery. But so now they're opening like a brick and mortar place,
Right.
and I'm curious and excited to see how this goes, because the vision right now is like, 'cause they have like, the barbecue place has like it's like Joker's barbecue, so it's like a pig as a Joker.
Oh, okay.
But now they're adding like this like Asian fusion side of it.
Awesome.
And so they want to keep the pig and then add a bao bun and ramen.
That's going to be a...
So I
Interesting.
think we're going to need to do some creative brainstorming to
Oh,
kind of
100%.
like reconstruct the vision.
Yeah.
But I think it will be cool. I think that like I'm definitely gonna kind of push also the like the other side. You know, people are like, oh, I want a logo, and then you're like, okay, so if you're opening a restaurant, you also need
Yeah. So much more than that.
like
I think you have to, though.
the menu.
'Cause you don't
and
want to
the-
make the identity and then they take it and hand it to someone else. That's like a pinch in the back, you know? So
I
you
mean,
definitely
true.
have to pitch that and be like, if they need those little paper coasters, napkins.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You could
Business
just keep
cards.
bleeding
to go-
everything out of them
Yeah.
until they have
Just
literally
mooch 'em.
nothing to. They're like, God, the
Little
matchbooks on the
piggyback
table.
signs.
Please, God.
Yes.
Well, because if you say this, then they're probably going to be like, oh, this is how everyone's, like what everyone else is going to ask.
Totally.
get
And you can
that.
even show them, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Madre, the taco place. Their entire restaurant is, like, so curated visually. And you can even, like, their menus, their coasters, their paper bags, they have a stamp,
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
and it makes a difference.
Totally.
You can see that they're committed to this, like, higher end taqueria. And it's,
Totally.
like, that's why people, like, go. They want to experience that and live that. And so I think that's
Yes.
the smartest thing you could do.
Well, and I think that like with these guys, they're the perfect example of like write on a piece of paper and like stick it on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
But they also were like, he was the head chef and like sous chef of Chandler's for years. They're like
That's that steak place,
insanely
right?
good cooks.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah. They like they know their shit.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, it's like they know how to cook, but do
Right.
they know like the business side of it all?
Totally. Well, and I think that that's kind of like it's the curse of so many really talented people is there isn't like like the visual identity to explain it. And then you have like, you know, it's like the restaurant's a perfect example. You go to a hole in the wall restaurant, the best food ever. You go to some like super cute bougie place and the food is like cardboard with like a garnish
Yeah.
on it.
Yes.
And so being able to like connect those two together, I think that it's like, and this is kind of like a bridge. This is like the place, like the client bridge that I struggle with is like, you want to, like, you basically want to educate them on the importance of visual identity.
Yeah.
but do it in a way where it isn't like demeaning, or it doesn't feel like you're like talking down to them or those kinds of things.
It's like an education thing.
Totally.
Kind of like teach them the importance of all of it.
Right. But, and I think it's tricky because like they're like, we're hiring you to make our business successful. I don't want to learn how to do it. I just want you to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think as a business owner, they should know. And even if they don't know everything,
I mean, that's the
they should
key.
they should be taking like tips and pointers from other people, whether they like are experienced it or not, you know.
Yeah.
Any tip can be a good tip. If it's a bad one, you don't have to take it into consideration.
Every tip's good except for the bad one.
Well, no, it's like every
don't do
tip
this.
can be useful. If you don't find it useful, then you don't have to like follow it, you know?
Totally.
Because like everyone has different opinions and strategies.
Definitely.
Not everyone does everything the same. So it's always good to take in like that stuff from everyone, see what everyone's doing, and kind of like make your own thing.
I think people give a lot of credit to graphic designers too. I do think that there is a level of understanding that we are these magical creatures that can create things from nothing. And I think like using that skill set as your credibility, like I feel like people are pretty open to it. So I don't know. I could see like, oh, I don't want to be like teaching and explaining, but it's more like you're collaborating and you're creating more for them and suggesting it in a way that's like, I want you to be so successful and this is what people want.
Definitely.
And approaching it like that.
Well, and I think that that's also like the importance of having good clients. Because like we've had projects where the client was like, hated their website. They were like embarrassed to show people.
Right.
They had a really, really, really incredibly high quality product. Like they were selling it to like millionaires that they would be like, we can't really say that who, but someone that, you know.
Super rich and awesome.
Right. So like these insanely high quality products, the website sucked. We did this whole, like, I think it was like 14 months of like rebranded it, redid the website, all this stuff. We're in there trying to launch it. And you literally still have the owner being like, did we even really need to do this? And so, I mean, their stuff looks great now.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really on the design side of that project, but like from the outside, you're like, duh.
Dude.
You're like, this is, I'll show you after. But it was one of those where you're like, there's no way. There's no way this is real. Who approved this? Everything looks different on every different page. And so, yeah, it's like you
It's
don't want
so
to.
tough.
Yeah, and you don't want to say like, oh, these clients are like a lost cause, or like, you know, it's like that's not really the reality of it. But I think some people like, they're like, if my product is good, people will see that. And it isn't like that anymore.
And that's the difference between like a successful business that is putting in the effort to create a better experience for their customers or their people that they're working with, is the ones that believe that all those little things make a difference. Like, and if they're not, then they're not ready to grow. And then that's a them problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that people get stuck a lot in this idea where they're like, I'm really passionate about what I'm doing and like what I'm making, and then that means other people will want it and like it. And I think it's like kind of the downfall of some like really, really cool things. Because when you're making the thing and you're in the world, you're like, this is the whole world. When you look at it from the outside, it's like, if you're posting, let's say you're going to make like 3 posts on Instagram and you're going to be like, people are going to see this and they're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. It's like you're competing with like the algorithm, billions of other accounts on there that are pushing like AI generated capybaras. You're also competing with like YouTube and TikTok and Spotify and like all of these other things that also exist in this space. And so I think it's tricky as a designer to like recognize that.
Yep.
And be like, how do we show up in that space because it also is like moving and evolving. And we're trying to keep up with that. And then also
trying to be different, kind of same.
Learn, but then also
trendy.
teach them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear how you're going to approach their brand, this client that you're working with, new branding will you keep the same style as Queens? Are you thinking that's going to take a different turn? Are you looking at different, like where, since you did make Queens.
Yeah. I think that like the style and the vibe of the owners makes me lean towards keeping that.
Yeah.
I think that like it's finding that balance of like you want to make something that like is going to speak to the customer, but at the same time like it's their baby.
It's their baby.
It's their restaurant, you know? It's not like they already did the whole like working for someone else doing that thing. And they started this company, like this restaurant to do their thing.
Yeah.
So I think that like it's combining those two together.
Yeah.
And like there totally is an audience here of like that like more like rough and tumble kind of like.
It is.
It's not like bro. It's like whatever.
Atlas.
Yeah, literally whatever that was.
Oh my
It
God.
was like grown skater men on their bikes.
That was
hanging out.
crazy.
Never seen more like trucker hats and mustaches.
I've never seen that aesthetic in my life. It was bizarre. So we go to this. Have you ever been to Atlas Bar? Okay, so me and Isabel have like just been going to Atlas Bar. I feel like for a while.
It's a little decompression station.
Yeah, just randomly. But we were there the other night, or no, it was before the Boise Design Week, and we're sitting there and we met Gia at the bar, and we're sitting there and like. Every 5 seconds, these guys are trickling in. It's like these massive biker dudes, and they have like tattoos all over their arms. Like they look like really scary.
It was like indie bikers.
Yeah, it was
like there was a little like it wasn't like full.
They had like the like tinted glasses and like the flat brim hat and like a scarf. One guy had like a scarf. It was weird.
Yes.
I'm like, where?
They came on like motorcycles or bike?
We weren't sure.
Like
We're thinking maybe
bicycles outside.
Are they like bike?
It's like a
Gang?
Bicycle gang. Yes.
I mean, that seems like
So is-
what a group of fans would do.
It was next door to Prestige.
But it was like 20 people.
Oh.
Like it wasn't like 5 or 6.
There was like the whole bar was packed and the outside was packed. It was a club.
Bicycle club.
It seemed like an after work like decompress moment for all these guys. It's like, how do you even find this many people in the same like niche?
I know.
It was crazy.
I'm sure it's more of some would do it to kind of like be funny, right? You would think.
Oh, they seem pretty serious about
Really?
it.
Very serious. It was like
can
slightly
only
uncomfortable.
I'm only imagining what they would look like.
It was
So
hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, I think that there's an audience for it.
Yeah.
I think that like I feel like there was like a big rise in the like everything beige and like what even you call that, the Utah mom aesthetic.
Yes.
And I feel like it's kind of like had its
If you know, you know.
I don't think I know.
like a little like a live laugh love sign.
Oh.
Like you know when you gosh, what's a good example of a place like that?
So like, did you ever go see tour? Okay, I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if I should say it, but there is one that I feel like comes to mind.
If you want, you can mute your mic.
It's Tutti Agency, Tuutti, and it's downtown.
Yeah, they're
I
a
would
good
say
example
they're like,
because and I feel like they're a really good example of like they do that aesthetic well because I think their audience is more like boutiques or it's like simple minimal women.
very feminine, light, organic.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
can
yeah,
kind of
totally.
see it now.
you know.
And so I feel like that's been like the thing. Like people will be like, you have to try this new cafe, it's so cute, and you go in and it's literally like a completely white room with like one table.
Oh.
You're like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Seems like a New York thing. Like big city,
like a bougie
type thing.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah. And so, but I feel like that's kind of like, I feel like that's still pretty like big in like Meridian and Nampa, like more of like people come for that side of it. But I feel like in Boise, there's still this kind of like underground grungy side that people love. I mean, look at Push and Pour.
Push and Pour.
They keep the skater vibe, but it's still like, it's still clean. It's still elevated.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, like, it's not grungy. And so I feel like the combination of people that are like interested in like trying new, cool, different food fall more into that category.
It's like the perfect place.
I think that's the angle I'm going to try to take.
It's like there's so many awesome places here that you can like pull inspiration from that have like that animated personification of their like character. Like I feel like I think Pig Latin, don't they have a pig as like their logo?
Okay, they're way more, they're very elevated.
Okay, so it's a little bit higher.
Everything comes out in like little teeny tiny plates.
Really? Fancy.
Tasting platters. Yeah.
But yeah, here is such a great place to be in that space. You're going to have a logo on a building. That's pretty cool. I hope it lights up. I would like to see a light up
neon.
I'm picturing like a noodle logo
like,
with like noodles in like
although
I'm picturing Nara sushi, like you know how they have like that little emblem.
Oh yeah.
I'm picturing that for you.
Maybe I'll order it from like, I'll just order a neon sign.
Yeah,
I'll
do
be like,
it.
this is what it is. I ordered it on
Sorry,
your card.
got your guys' logo. Here
Get
you
it
go.
from China. Get it shipped in. You're like, it's done.
It's done.
What's
No
it called?
comments. It's done.
What's it called again?
Joker's Barbecue.
Joker's Barbecue.
And now other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is that? What's this timeline for it?
No idea yet.
Not there.
Yeah. It was, I got the same. It was just like,
How
hey,
crazy is
we're
that?
interested. You want to do this? But that, I feel like that's the thing with design work is it comes in waves so much.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing. And then literally like
Just
2
like
days ago, I was like, I just need to find like a restaurant or a yoga studio that's opening so I can just do like a little bit of freelance.
Yeah. And here you go.
Yeah.
It just came out.
The
I know.
spirits heard
Yeah.
you.
They did. The spirits did hear me. And it was like as soon as I got off work. Like I was getting in my car after work.
And they called you?
And they called me. I was like, how do you know that I'm off work at 3:45?
They're probably like, oh,
She's
well,
the one for us.
They're like, oh, let's try to catch her on her like 10-minute break and then.
Yeah. He was like, so are you still like working for that company? I was like, yeah, I'm just leaving.
What about you, Ty? What's coming up for you? Do you got anything going on behind the scenes in the life of Ty?
No.
How are the bike rides? Full moon bike.
Yeah, that looks cool.
They're good. I don't really know what else to say. Just design something for it every month.
Is that like something that is part of your job or you're doing it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's either I make it or Levi makes it. And Levi made the last month's one.
Does he use ChatGPT?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I literally know. Okay.
He uses it a lot.
Really?
I kind of showed him how to use it as well. And I was like, and then every time I'm like coming up to like talk to him, he's like asking. I was like, oh, look what I've created.
I have an AI design thing that came up recently with my family, and I wanted to share the story because it drove me crazy.
Yes.
What?
The other day, wait.
No,
can
you
I
go.
say
Go,
my little
go.
piece and then I'll like
Yes.
the other day as we're sitting at work and my boss asked me, do you have any recommendations for websites that can AI generate logos? Because my friends want a new logo and like I just don't have the time to make it.
I
was like, perhaps I know 8 people here that would like to do a freelance job.
well, one thing I hate about that is
Dude.
like you can easily tell a logo if it's AI generated.
Yes.
Like it has such a like distinctive
know.
look, and people still.
It's nothing.
it.
It's flat. There's nothing behind it. It's shapes. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah. Well, and it's recycling other artists' stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah. Okay, I want to hear your story.
That's
though.
crazy.
I know.
What did you say?
I basically said...
I don't even know what I would
Remember when we
say.
said in those meetings to our clients where we told them the importance of developing logos and not AI generating them? That also still applies.
You said that?
Well, I said a more polite version.
I would be like,
But
I don't have anything for you.
I
Like, I don't
basically
even know.
said that doesn't exist. I was like,
Oh.
you can try and use, like, 'cause I feel like the best one right now is Midjourney.
Yeah.
I was like, you can try and use it, but it's really expensive, and like, if you're gonna pay anyway, you might as well pay someone to make it.
Yeah.
So,
Gosh, that's insane. I had my little sister, she's 16. When I went home for this, like, past vacation I was on, I was hanging out with her a lot, and she is doing, like, a camp, and they're trying to come up with a t-shirt design. Okay, but yes, that was the shirt that the lady running the thing.
I also want to know, I didn't want to sound so brutal.
No, you were really
like,
nice.
And, like,
but it was horrible.
blunt.
She used the underline tool
Yeah.
yeah, that was crazy.
Well, it was also in a...
and an Arial font. And it wasn't just one line, it was 2 words and then one
like a
word.
PowerPoint as well. Which I love and hate the fact that that's what people use.
So
Continue.
then Priscilla, my little sister, she goes and she generates an idea that she has, right?
Okay.
And
Which is fine.
it was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really, really good. So it's so...
The idea or the rendering?
The rendering was great. The idea she really liked. She sent it into her chat. Everybody loved it. It's just like it's one of those moments where I saw AI create something that I just was like, I could see why people, I don't know. I just feel like it opens doors that people don't usually have access to. It was frustrating for me as a graphic designer because I was like,
Well, it's
Why
for
did
the
you do that?
people who can't make it themselves.
and so I've been really reflecting on that lately because it can be so easy to be like, people ask all the time with me how AI impacts my job and how I feel about it as a graphic designer, and it's that experience kind of like put it in a different perspective. Like, it's a great tool for
Yeah.
people.
It is.
I use it. We should all be using it in some form.
Yeah. I just think it's like, personally, I try not to use the image generator.
Absolutely.
And I also try not to use like just the text. Recently, I've been trying to. I was using it a lot, like when like the beginning of the year, and I like noticed. I was like, I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit. I kind of want my work to be like my own voice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I've stopped. But I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Totally.
I think that it also creates a lot more accessibility
Yes.
to design.
It does.
Because it's like, I was just thinking, like, okay, we're all sitting here talking about design. We all went to a 4-year university with, I mean, what, like $20K in tuition minimum?
Yeah.
Putting it into
To
investing.
do this, we spend hundreds of dollars every year on
Not
software.
everyone's got that
No.
type of
Yeah.
time
Right.
and or money.
And I think also, like, understanding that, like, generating a logo, obviously there's a lot of parts of me where I'm like, don't do it. But it's also, like, that's not a visual identity. The things that go in, when you hire a company to make you an identity, it's, like, so much more goes into that.
It's also like most people who do it, it's like their starting point.
It
Right.
is.
So it's like it's just that at that point they're just trying to get their like idea out there, their name,
Yes.
put it out there, and then like I don't know, 2-3 years later, they'll probably change it.
See, exactly. And it's like, I'm not going to be like, your business should fail because you didn't hire
'Cause you
someone
didn't hire-
to make a logo.
Exactly.
You know,
It's
it's like,
also like
It creates things.
yeah.
For people
10%
that don't.
of the people will actually like critique it and be like, "That's
That's
AR."
a terrible. Oh yeah. I
While
love that.
every single other person's like they won't even care. It's
True.
like, it's just
Well, and
another
it's
logo.
like, the consequences, it looks cheap.
Yeah.
You know? And so.
It depends though on which one you use, because you can like
Right.
give them specific styles. Because I've messed with this for a bit. You can give them different styles on how it generates its image, and if you just do its default, it's like that's bad. But if you do like something else a little more like specified, it's like kind of blends in.
True. And I guess I mean more like the the lack of continuity.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, I think having a cool logo, honestly, I feel like this has been a big, like, shift in my thinking of branding recently, where I'm like, at first I was like, oh yeah, it's the logo. Like, that's the thing. Or like, it's not even the logo, it's the symbol. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like I'm like, I mean, there are so many brands that have a word mark and they don't even have a symbol. But like brands that are really, really good, like you should be able to tell what brand it is from a photograph.
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess, yeah.
It's the like visual identity. It's like the colors and the shapes and the angles and the typeface and the layouts.
Right.
Like there's so much more behind it. And I think that like, I mean, obviously, like, we do logo design. Mm-hmm. We think it's important. Like, it's not, like, I'm not, like, diminishing that, but, like, I think that before I put all this, all this emphasis on, like, the logo. And then it's, like, you take a step back and you're, like, it's all of the other things.
It is.
Like, working together.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that AI can't do that. I think that, like, it just isn't, it's going to fall apart. It doesn't, like, yeah.
It's not, like, a fully, like, well thought through thing that, like, most people make.
Right.
Like, it can't do all the, like, studies of their audience and all that, so.
Totally. And they have a business to run.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my AI story. That literally, I was just like, oh, my gosh, I'm seeing this in real time, like,
well, I find it funny,
people,
like, she didn't ask you.
And there was
And you were home.
constraints because I was home. I wasn't going to do work. Like,
But,
no.
Oh, yeah.
So
like, she could, like, consult you, like, ask for help or tips.
That's true. But it did, like, give me that, like, oh my gosh, have I been looking at this completely wrong this whole time and hating it and, like, not understanding why everyone's so excited about it when it changed the trajectory of this little group, and now they're, like, psyched about what their t-shirt, and, like, it brought everyone together, and she was able to, like, show, I'm not going to say this part, you're going to have to edit this out, but she, like, didn't tell her group that it was AI generated and nobody noticed. And I'm like, Priscilla, like, no, you did not design that. You can say, there's nothing wrong with saying I prompted AI. Like, a prompt is a great tool, but I was like, dude.
People are going to be like, design something for me.
Like, yeah. And that was, like, the thing is then she got her t-shirt, and then her teacher wanted her to get it printed, and she's like, I don't know how to get it from here to the t-shirt. And I was like, okay, that's where you need a graphic designer, because that's half of our job is not only seeing it on a screen, but creating it and making it available for so many different formats. Like, and that's what AI will never be able to do.
Totally.
Is think through those problems.
Well, yeah. I think that's something that I feel like the OG AI generation was Canva when that started. Mm-hmm. And I think that there was a lot of the same pushback. But I think that giving people more access to those tools makes them actually realize and care about it more.
Yeah.
Because if everything you see is like, if you're used to like Excel sheets and Word documents, like you're like, oh, it's fine, we don't need it to look good. Mm-hmm. You make something that looks good, it has way more of an impact. And then you're like, oh, wait, maybe we actually do need people that makes this and does this. And they know their constraints. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, yeah, like, you can use AI for some things, but I think no matter what, you hit a point where you're like, okay, because it's not only that, like, you want someone that can make exactly what you want, but that they actually, like, have the professional experience and understanding, like, of the market and what that means. It's like, yes, you can prompt it to, like, make a cat, I don't know, eating sushi.
Yeah.
But it's like they want someone that knows, like, diagonal lines show movement and forward motion, and straight lines show stability, and blue creates trust, and this will, like, sit well in this audience, in this space, but using this accent color will make you stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's basically like we're just going to become consultants instead of creatives. I think that's really
That's an interesting, trajectory of where it could go. Because that is a lot of it is, yes, we're consulting.
Yeah.
Giving them advice on why we're doing things, why they should care, why they should do things.
But I think that that's the case in, like, a lot of professions.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's not like you go to the doctor and they're like, well, I only do surgery, so today we're doing surgery. You know? You go in and they're like, how do you feel? What's going on?
So true.
You know?
So true.
So I think it's just something that's like we didn't really have to do in school. It was just the making. It was just the surgery.
Just the
there
surgery.
There was no of the, bedside manner, whatever they call it.
It's just like so crazy to me too, because didn't those professionals feel that same jarring reality when they graduated that, wow, I didn't learn anything? Like, why is it never passed down? Like, why are we still asking these questions? Like, is it because the field has changed and just always evolves and we're never going to be able to be prepared for what's going on? Or is it literally just you have to gain real world experience and it can't be taught in school? Like,
I think it's that.
I mean, I think some of it could be taught.
I think some of it could be taught too.
I definitely looked back and I was like, why didn't we do this? Or why didn't we go over this? And part of me was like so close to asking Brian. I was going to be like, well, mainly I asked him for help, but I was also like, going to be like, why didn't we do this in your class? I think it would have fit in perfectly.
If there was something that you could have learned in school that you didn't, what would it be?
I think, and I'm only because I've thought about it a lot, but it's like formatting and all whatever freelance related. Because almost everyone kind of like out of college will do like a couple freelance opportunities, and sometimes it's like high-end professional, sometimes it's like close friends, family, stuff like that. But it's like I've had to set up invoices and contracts and stuff like that. And I went to like Brian and Aaron for help, but I was also like, why don't we go over this?
Totally.
Because it's like everyone always talks about whether you do freelance, agency, or in-house. And it's like, everyone's always like, well, it's best to do agency and then like dabble on freelance, but never straight into in-house and stuff like that. But we never really went into like focused on people actually going into freelance.
I think that whole art department could really benefit from like honestly like a one semester like legal document class.
Yeah.
Because we have that problem. Think about like photography students, videography students,
Everybody.
like
Everybody
anyone that
could
has their art in a
benefit.
gallery.
Yeah.
Something that I didn't even know in school is that there are certain companies where you sign a contract and they have all of the rights to all of your design work.
Interesting.
That it's not, you don't own it. Anything you make within that company.
Why you have to read all your contracts, stuff like that.
But like, did you learn that in school?
No.
See?
But I at least knew from like when I was signing things, I read every single letter. Like it's not like the terms of service on like your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like
IRL.
you're like signing your work away essentially. So like I made sure I read through everything and I was like, okay, that looks good. And if not, I would like ask questions. Well, just because it's like first time stuff.
Right. But that's my point.
Yeah.
It's like that they should like.
Well, because some people don't know that at all.
Like I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I would not have known that.
And
I just learned that 5 minutes ago. That I should read through all my art contracts.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, and
work,
that's
too.
why
all the legal jargon.
That's why you should read
Legal
the
jargon.
Adobe terms of service now as well. I mean, there's no point because everyone's talking about it, but like when they made their AI changes, you know, they like changed a little bit of subtext, which I don't really care. I'm like, if I see something like my stuff, I don't mind. I think my stuff's kind of like generic, but
So yours would be a legal class, like a legal representation, advocation, and like learning the ins and outs of the business. I agree.
I feel like
I think that's pretty good to have. Like instead of art history.
We were talking about that with Gia, because we were both kind of saying that, like, obviously the Boise State graphic design program was amazing, and in comparison to so many other places, like, we got such a great education and collaboration. But I do look back on those first 2 years and I'm like,
first
what? Like, what?
First 2 years were like god awful.
Like, they were. It was so hard to, like, literally.
I hated it, honestly. It was rough. I think it was also just like the stage the program was in. Like, I think it's way better now. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I remember I was so excited. I told like all my friends, I was like, going into my first design class, and then I like came home for winter break. They checked in. I was like, kind of sucks, man. I was like, this is nothing that I thought it was. Which, honestly, it was. Like, I had no idea what graphic design was, but it's like, this sucked. Like, the 2 hours of
charcoal
critiquing. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I think that was also because it was, like, part COVID. And also just, like, we were thrown into a class. But I remember our critiques. It was the 2.5 hours, and no one would
talk. Nobody talked until the end of our senior year.
Yeah, nobody
ever.
My thing is, one, social distancing and the masks.
I think it was COVID.
That's how I view it, but I'm also just, in the classroom, I'm a very quiet person. So, like, there are moments I know for a fact where I could have, like, spoken up to either, like, help out or just, you know, like, let an idea out, but I didn't. Which I think is a bad part, but it's like.
Yeah, we didn't have, like, that community that it would have been. I think it would have also helped us all as designers.
I thought for sure it was going to kind of, like, grow, and it did, but not as much as I thought. But in our first class we had with Erin, when she first started us doing, like, group projects, I thought that's when it was first going to happen. But it really didn't happen until the last semester, I'd say.
I would say we were pretty vocal, like, end of junior year into senior year.
But it wasn't like, quote, best friends, like, interaction type thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was still like,
yeah. I feel like it was almost like you kind of talked to, like, the people that you did group projects with, and then, honestly, I feel like the graphic design club did a lot of it, too, in the senior year. Because I feel like it was, like, you and Ayden and Sasha.
We definitely tried to push it more because we had noticed, like, none of us talk or hang out.
Right.
It's like,
we didn't know anything about each other.
We didn't. Yeah. It was, like, crazy.
Yeah.
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 So there's a lot of things that I would change from them. But it's like, you can't do anything about it. Besides, like,
go back to school.
No, like give your feedback to the professors so they can change it.
Right. And I think also recognizing that it's literally a department of 2 professors.
Yeah, they did the best that they could do. And they did a great job.
Right before it, like, basically broke apart, and they were just building it piece by piece.
Brian's, like, holding it together.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think something that I think it's happening now, but I think something that I would have loved, and obviously I could have pursued this, like, outside of the graphic design program, but I'm seeing more and more overlap in the field of UX in graphic design. Mm-hmm. And I think it's only going to become more and more parallel to each other. And so it would have been really cool to have a focus or even, like, a semester just really getting into the,
like, one of the
psychology of it. Yeah, like, there was nothing.
I mean, I get it.
And, like, darkroom photography, I'm sorry, 2 semesters of that? Like, and we didn't do anything with websites or digital. Like, what?
I like that stuff, but I mean, like, for everyone else, I knew, like, I could tell in the class, I was like, some people don't want to be here, some people do.
That was ridiculous. Like, we had so many photography for, I mean, it's
it was
great
like 2 digitals,
to know, but no.
2 digitals and 2 film, something like that. I was like, I didn't care much for the digital.
I never even took digital.
Really?
I didn't even take digital either. I did both like darkroom and then
Well, maybe it was like I did the second film for fun because I like it. But I remember I did one digital. I think I did it with like Wyatt and someone else in our class, and we were like, it was with Larry.
oh my gosh.
We were like, this sucks.
I never met him.
I never met him
interesting
either, but I
guy.
heard so many
He was no
scary
John
stories.
Sadler, I'll tell you that.
Oh my gosh. Love
my
him.
gosh.
Yeah.
Miss John Sadler.
Same.
But yeah, I think like having someone like even just like an intro to Figma would have been sweet. There's so
Yeah.
much that goes into it.
Well, Figma's, I think, well, I haven't looked at it. I saw it there. Figma was kind of like changing. They're doing the same thing, but they're like elevating what you can do in Figma. And I thought that was really cool.
Because I mean, even just like understanding users better, I think like UX, we work with a UX team, and their process for starting projects is months and months of research. And
Well,
I
it's
think like
dissecting how people think.
humans, and it's so interesting, and it's less on like the creating the design rather than like thinking through every single decision of like where your eyes and your
Like, what would
mind
somebody
is going
do
to.
if they
And
saw
we could
this?
benefit from that. Like even
Definitely.
just a high level overview of really the psychology behind it. Like for moving people from a top left to the right. Like how do people there's like science to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been so cool to learn.
I feel like honestly getting my UX certificate was like it informed my design so.
That's what a lot of people said.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was going to do it. And I was like, nah.
That is something that I'm considering for just like independently, like just getting it.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good. They're like Nielsen Norman Group has really really good resources.
Really.
And I think that like. I think coming from the graphic design side, the one part of UX, corporate UX that I struggle with is that it's all about building websites. Because, like, I'm going to say, like, 94% of the time I'm on my phone, I'm not looking at a website.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like they're doing this, like, really, really, really cool, informed stuff. But a lot of the time, the final result is something that, like, I mean, I feel like websites are kind of dying.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah. The usage of them,
E-commerce
are dying, but
not
it's
going
like,
anywhere.
you still need them. Like, I don't think I don't think they'll, like, vanish.
But like people putting a lot of energy and time and like thought, yes, I agree.
I think
with
doing
you.
web design, I think that we still need it. I just think that there's so much more you can do with, like, user experience. And, like, I really wish, like, there was more of a field for that, because I think kind of like what we've seen with like placemaking, or I mean the projects that we did, the I can remember what they're service learning projects.
Oh yeah.
Where you go into a space and the first one was like, it's kind of like interviewing the people that manage it instead of being there. But like the second one where it's like you're in the space, you're seeing, it was with the science center, seeing like how kids interact and how adults interact and how like they used to have a tiny grocery store that everyone misses so much. Everyone needed to tell us about the tiny grocery store. But that you're like really looking at how people are like exist in this space and then finding a solution for that that might not necessarily be digital.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really easy to fall into that, like, do you want a brochure? Do you want a poster? Do you want, like kind of these things that like, they look cool. But I feel like that's the way that like design can make a huge impact. And I think honestly some of the most like interesting like corporate design does that, because they'll do the like huge statues or the huge displays, or like, I don't know, have you heard of like the Glossier stores?
Oh, yes.
Right? That's so cool. It's basically like they make these stores where everything's like, there's one in, it's either Seattle or Portland, where it has like this big like mossy hill with mushrooms, and like everything's like laid out in the cutest little way, and you ask them what you want and then they call your name from this little window in the back, and they like package it up for you and put it in a little bag.
Huh.
And it's like,
It's cool.
That experience, like, to me, I'm like, that user experience is like so cool.
Yeah, it goes beyond the website. It'd
Yes.
be a shame to only explore the user experience of like digital. I agree. Yeah, digital.
Totally.
I think where would you see like the UX experience and like a spatial experience come into play in like the corporate life? Like would you want them to go deeper than like a website every time, or are you just thinking generally?
I think generally.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hard with like a job.
right. And it's also like, we work at a tech company.
We're gonna
Like, we can't go design freaking
We're gonna make a
stores.
super awesome store for you guys, and everything's gonna be sparkly.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. But I think it also, like, I think it shows that it's, like, having that, like, collaboration with other, like, people in production or photography, videography, placemaking, like, all of those things. How it's, like, working with other creatives, you can create so much more than you can individually. Which is also kind of the curse of doing freelance. Because it's like literally the opposite of that.
Everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
What time? I feel like we've been talking for
I
hours.
mean, you can see the timestamp on the thing. It's hour
Hour
and
and
40. Thank you for calling 100 Set Design. I think it's keep designing, stay inspired, and dial into design. Bye. No, say bye.
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 Okay, sweet.